For the next 10 days, we're exploring abandoned mines, hiking to beautiful alpine lakes, meadows, and rivers, off-roading, swimming in waterfalls, mountain biking, eating what we catch, and more. And we're doing it all in my 1985 Toyota Land Cruiser and rooftop tent. You're not going to want to miss this amazing adventure. We are currently heading up to go see some old stone 1800s miners' cabins and do some alpine lake fishing. The weather's rolling in though, so hopefully the rain holds out. We're here for the next 7 days in the beautiful eastern Sierra Nevada. We got snow-capped peaks, beautiful alpine lakes, and a whole lot of cool stuff. It's crazy, it's the middle of July and the mountains are just starting to wake up for springtime. There's a massive cascading waterfall, comes all the way down this mountain. And it looks like just up ahead there's a mine. Kind of hear the echo when I talk into it. This is called the Bennetville Mine, and there's some old remnants of the town and settlers that used to be here during the gold rush in the late 1800s. I was looking into it and it looks like the reasoning for this town actually being here and the Bennetville Mine was they would try to get investors by lying in the newspapers and saying they were finding more ore than they actually were, and that caused people to invest in the town and show up here. But when they actually started digging, they never really found much, and the town sort of depleted by the early 1900s. And you can see here on the edge of these mine tailings and off in the distance there's still some cabins from the old town of Bennetville. Well, it wouldn't be too bad of a spot to post up and build a town. You have a really good view all the way down this valley, and there's plenty of fishing to be had down here in the valley. I really want to go check those cabins out and see what they're all about. We better make it quick. We're actually heading up and over the mountain. That's the opposite direction though. We've got some alpine lakes we want to fish on the other side. So we just got to cross this river to get to those cabins. Well, we made it to the cabins. Yep. These two-story cabins survive these harsh winters. They're built out of all the trees from this valley. Super durable. I'm very tempted to go check out the second story. The floor is kind of falling apart, but if you were stuck in a winter storm up here, you could hide in here and be completely fine. It would be cold, but you'd be fine. I'll take a look up the stairs. Oh, yeah, we don't want to stand up here for sure. Well, the floor's kind of sketchy up here on the second story, so I don't think we're gonna put two people up here. It's kind of funny, as the wind blows outside, I almost feel like I can feel the whole cabin swaying back and forth. There was a smaller cabin over here on the other side. Let's go check that out too. Those old wooden latches are cool. There's some old angle iron and metal artifacts on this rock. Old tin cans. We're gonna check out this next cabin here. I think we can go in this one. The floor doesn't look too good. It's kind of falling apart here on the side. Oh yeah, this is unlocked too. That one's pretty sketchy. This cabin behind me is kind of falling apart, so it's really cool to see the history before it's completely gone. I have a feeling in the next 20 to 30 years, these are probably gonna be completely gone. They got more old mining remnants of cans and stuff people have collected. I know there's plenty of other cabins situated all along these hills from other mines, but we got a big hike, so we're gonna head back up over that mountain behind me and go do some alpine lake fishing. So we are headed up the old miners' trail right now, up to their old vertical shaft, which comes down from the top of this mountain, which conveniently is the right way for us to go to get to our lakes. So along the way, we should pass the vertical shaft at some point, and then at the very top, there's gonna be some stone miners' cabins. Check out this view behind me. We're headed up that way, up to over 11,000 feet, and then we're gonna drop down the backside of those mountains. First little bit of snow still melting away up here, middle of July in California. Well, just as I suspected, there's a vertical shaft, but it seems there's been some collapse. It's only about 10 feet deep, but way back in the day, this would have gone all the way down over 1,000 feet to that horizontal shaft we visited earlier. All the way at the bottom of that valley. We've made it up way into the alpine terrain. We're about ready to scale over this pass and get to those lakes. This mountain we're climbing is like a big saddle. And right now we're hiking towards the lowest point to try to get us over the pass. I think the area we have to make it to, though, is a little bit higher up this hill, but it seems the trail's headed that way. So that's the way we're headed. Oh, these are my favorite types of alpine streams. It's right on the edge of that huge cliff too. Oh boy, it's raining. I didn't pack a rain jacket for this. Middle of July, what do you expect? Well, check it out, we found another test hole. We could hide in there if it starts raining really bad. Another test hole right here behind me. They were testing all over this mountain. Oh, check it out. Another test hole. All right, looks like we just stumbled across the first stone miner's cabin up here. These are from the mid 1800s. Looks like they really didn't use too much to put them together. Obviously, snow hasn't done any wonders to the roof. If you were trapped up here in a big storm though, you could hunker down in there. Looks like it's sort of just an animal den as of now. But it even had a door at one point they would use to keep the wind out. A lot of these were probably just for storage, but guys did live up here. There's little ant holes all along this entire mountain, along that quartz vein. All right, check it out. We just found another mine shaft. That's a big hole, and there's a bunch of snowmelt water in the bottom. There's more cabins out this way. Looks like the snow got to that cabin. The whole roof's collapsed in, but pretty cool stonework that they did. Well, it's starting to rain pretty good now, but found another cabin. There isn't much left of these. More stonework. I'm getting pretty cold. I left without a rain jacket and I'm wet. There's a cabin right here though. Looks like it had a roof at one point and a chimney and all. But the roof collapsed from the snow and so did the windows. We're gonna try to descend in elevation a little bit down to that lake. All right, we made it to our first alpine lake. I'm gonna get the rod set up. I still have the same yellow and red spinner on from a couple weeks ago that I used in the other lakes that we were fishing. I'm pretty stoked. I'm gonna get the rod extended and see what we can catch. Well, all right guys, we've made it to the highest, most lake here at the very back of the trail that we were doing, and the rain's eased up just a little bit. Still kind of cold out, but I'm gonna give it a couple casts here. All right, well, didn't get really any bites in this section. I don't know if the fish are on the bottom or something. I'm gonna make my way across that direction and see what there is. Well, the weather up here today is not great. I'm not sure if that's affecting the fishing or not. Kind of have like an opaque lighting where I feel like it might be harder for them to see the lure because you don't really get that flash. Makes the water this weird greenish color too. There is plenty of flowers and bugs out here, but I haven't seen too many fish yet. If they're here, we're gonna find them. Well, you guys, I think I pretty much fished my way around this lake and haven't seen or caught really anything. I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna move down to the other lake and see what happens. Well, we're headed over this alpine meadow and down towards that ridge right there. All right, we're a couple miles into this mission. We need to stop for some water. All All right, well, the fishing wasn't all that good up there, but we got a really cool alpine hike in, saw a lot of cool mining cabins at the beginning of the day. I think it's time to go find some lunch. We're gonna head down the hill and see what we can't get into when the weather is a little bit warmer. Maybe go find some hot springs. All right, guys, well, we decided to go a little bit farther north and we ended up on a pretty cool four-wheel drive road, and we're about to hit the top, so we'll show you guys when we get to the view. Took quite a bit of 4-low to get all the way up here. We're over 11,000 feet. There's a marmot right there. He's running away. We just got to the top. He's sitting right there. Guys, I found the marmot. He's looking right at me.
Really?
Are they aggressive? Oh, he might be territorial. Oh, no, he went the other way. Oh, wait. Now he's looking at me again. I see you, Mr. Marmot. I think this might be his territory. Yeah. All right. All right, we're evading. Oh, I love the places the Land Cruiser can take us. We have the whole valley before us. Hundreds of waterfalls all back along this. The whole valley's lined with lakes, and the storm clouds are blowing out. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's a tall cliff, a couple thousand feet, and the Land Cruiser got us all the way to the top. Are you happy with the view?
I did not expect it to be so grand and surreal.
It's as big as the Grand Canyon, some parts of it at least. Like, looking at it, the scale doesn't do it justice on camera. It's huge. There goes the marmot. This is crazy. We're over 11,000 feet. The Land Cruiser did great getting up here. Now we just got to get down. Guys, it's pretty cold up here at over 11,000 feet. We found a nice alpine lake to camp at that we can hit on the way back, so I think we're gonna camp there on our way down the trail for tonight. Oh, it was a rough ride coming up here, mainly 4-low. Wow, it's pretty incredible being able to drive upwards of 11,000 feet, not having to hike through the alpine, just to have a road all the way to the top. And we saw a marmot. We were looking for marmots all day and finally saw one.
Is my first. Is that out?
Yeah, seriously. They definitely could. So the original lake we were going to camp at was just way too cold. There was no way. It was kind of miserable and windy. And there's still a little bit of a storm system blowing through. So we're gonna go to a little bit lower elevation. We're still quite far off-road right now, high up here, and we're just working our way through it. Hopefully gonna pull into camp just around dark. That's the goal. How's it going up there? Well, we've made it here to camp. There's a beautiful sunset happening here in the background. There's actually another lake off in that distance we're gonna go check out in the morning. Now, as far as camp goes, I got the jackery going. Sydney's over here
I'm making a 3-cheese ravioli with chicken and a tomato cheesy bread.
So it's smelling really good, and it's gonna be really good. We had a couple casualties on the way in. I broke one of the straps on the rooftop tent. I think just from all the jarring around, one of the straps broke off. We still have 3 more though. So there was that, and I'm actually about to get a fire started. First thing I like to do when I get to camp is start a fire. Just helps drive all the bugs away while you're trying to eat. Good morning. I think it's time to get up and make some breakfast. So we just started walking down the dirt road from our campsite, and there's a lake way off in the distance over there. We're gonna go give it a shot and see what we can catch. Finally got a fish. It's been 2.5 days here in the mountains fishing every day, and I finally got one. Not quite big enough to eat, pretty skinny, still pretty short, but at least we got a fish on the board finally. Well, we finally got a fish on the board this trip. Maybe our luck's gonna start turning around. Got a little scared there for a minute if I still knew how to catch trout or not. We're gonna hike a little bit farther around this pond and see if there's any more on the other side. There's a lot of really little fish in this pond, and the pond's really shallow, so you have to keep the rod tip up really high and reel pretty quick. Makes it hard for the fish to catch up to the lure. All right, we're gonna take a look at the other side of this pond. All right, well, we're all packed up. This has been a really good campsite to us. I caught one fish down at the lake, and we're gonna head down into town and go hit some hot springs and do a little bit more fishing. But before that, we have a little off-roading to get out of here. Well, it's a pretty cool valley there right behind us. There's some sticks in the road we gotta move. Make sure we don't get a flat. Well, we're here at the hot springs overlooking this entire valley in front of us, and we're having a great time. We have the little feeder stream here that goes all the way down and feeds this pool and the one just below it. I don't know how long I'll be able to be in here. This thing's really hot. It's got to be over 105. I'm not going to out this exact spot, but if you search up hot springs, Eastern Sierras, this is one of the first places that comes up. So it's really not a big secret. Just remember while you're here, make sure the water's flowing and don't put your head underwater. You don't want any of those brain-eating amoebas that we talked about last video. We just arrived at our next campsite here on some Forest Service property, and we're gonna go find another hot spring. Well, you guys, we had a really big day. We did a ton of fishing, didn't really catch too many fish today. We did a little bit of hiking and a lot of four-wheeling. We ended the day here at the hot springs that we're gonna go check out tomorrow morning, so stay tuned, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning. We just woke up here, and take a look at what's going by the tent. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a whole bunch of cattle being herded right next to the tent. Well, you guys, we've got about a 4-hour drive north into the Lake Tahoe area, so we will catch up with you guys along the way. Well, you guys, welcome to Virginia City, Nevada. Virginia City is a gold and silver mining town that was ran all throughout the 1800s and had a population at the time of about 30-some thousand people. It's since diminished all the way down to about 700, and we're gonna go take a look around.
Wow.
right, guys, well, the next stop on our road trip is here at the Truckee Bike Park. We're gonna get some bike park clips for you, so stay tuned. It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, well, after a really fun day of exploring some of what Northern California has to offer, we ended up here at this really awesome Forest Service site. It's just right off the road, super cool. There's 2 lakes that are just down the road here from us that we're gonna try to fish. We're gonna get some dinner cooked up here, and my job tonight is gonna be to get a fire started. So let's get to doing that. I've been finding that dried pine needles just work the best. Just throw a bunch of them in there. Well, good morning, and it is day 5 of our Sierra Nevada trip. We are currently headed to go do some fishing. We just woke up, got the truck started, and we're headed over. Well, the fishing wasn't all that great at the 2 lakes that we visited, but we're on the way to a bigger, better river at the moment. I just filled up some diesel, folks. We're gonna hit the road. We got invited by some friends to go out on the lake for the day, so we're gonna go do that. Oh, sure you do. Oh, get down. As you can see, we've had a little bit of a change of scenery here, and I'll explain that in a minute. But right now, we're gonna do some fishing in this river right behind us. Yeah, I think you got a little one.
Got him. Oh. A little largemouth. What is that? A rainbow? Oh, we got away.
Oh, check that out, guys. There's a snake right here we just found. It's eating a fish. Well, that's crazy. I bet that fish either jumped out of the water or the snake went in the water and hunting for it. Check that out. There's a mama duck with a bunch of babies right there. All right, guys. Right now we're learning how to gold pan.
make it hard for the gold to settle to the bottom.
We've been digging around in the river all day and finally came up with some concentrates, and we're gonna see what we got.
All day long, and then at the end of the day we do the very careful stuff. Then we get to have all the fun in the heat of the day. Dude, there's gold everywhere.
All right, well, we had a great day on the river today, and we ended up catching a whole bunch of fish, so I think we're gonna do a little bit of a fish cookout.
We caught a couple bass, largemouth bass, and some rainbow trout. So we kept the rainbow trout, so we're gonna cook that up.
So we're gonna get to cooking. Welcome back to day 7. We are currently on a hike to a really cool waterfall. There's a lot of really nice pools right here in front of me, all along this river for miles and miles. It's tough to decide where exactly to fish. It all looks like the best. We just found a really nice pool here in front of us, and I think Sydney's gonna give it a shot with the spinner.
I got one.
Good job. Oh yeah.
Oh. Wait.
What kind of fish that is?
Well, that's beautiful.
Oh, a rainbow. Real small. Nick's gonna tie up and try with a different lure because I almost just lost the one I had tied on. Check out the size of these leaves. Bigger than my hand. Big old frog. Oh, I just lost my lure in there. Got to go back to camp and get another one. All right, we just took those 2 paddle boards up the river a little ways. We're gonna go do some more fishing. Sydney caught another largemouth bass. See way up there, there's a zip line across the river with some kind of a old hoist. I think they would use it to get old mining equipment or something across the river. We've also got a lot of storm clouds rolling in, and where we're camped would be really bad if a storm came in and got the road all muddy, so hopefully no rain tonight. Sydney's new love is fishing. She doesn't want to give it up. This entire video is pretty much just Sydney fishing, and I'm sitting here watching and filming. I don't think that that's a rainbow trout.
It looks like
Something else. I'm not up on my trout species enough. Well, maybe.
it looks like
It
a
actually does look
rainbow.
like a rainbow. Yeah.
Oh. Another one of the baby rainbows.
So,
Yeah, it looks like it to me. Oops. I bet you it's a largemouth. Keep reeling him.
broke off.
Ah, yeah.
Well, you guys, welcome to the little town of Downeyville. We're gonna go catch the mountain bike shuttle and do a ride all the way from the top of the hill to the bottom. This should be fun. rough for sure. Oh God, almost died.
Yeah.
What'd you hit? Okay, there's a cliff. sick? I had like 8 hours on the SD card. Oh, good morning. Last night here on the trip. Nick's getting ready to go back into the mountains, and we stayed the night at this cabin last night. Pretty cool little spot right next to the river. If you like this video and want to see more, tap the video on the screen or check out the link in my description. We've got a ton of videos just like this one. And don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.